My name is Daniel Grizzle, one of the directors of the Negril Chamber of Commerce. The Vendors Plaza came about way, I think maybe in the early 90s, right? When there was vendoring all over the street and it was a mess. We at the time went to USAID, which we already had a good relationship with, and we put in a proposal for a plaza to be built. We got our drawing, we wrote to them. It was a delegation of 4 of us who went to Kingston on that trip. Unfortunately, 2 of those people are now passed and gone. We presented our case. The USAID, at the time there was one Mr. Bill Jocelyn, who we had had a relationship with before, and he granted us apparently 65% of the costs for that building. We in turn raised the rest of the money. I remember at the time Mrs. Jackson from Treehouse was very active in the chamber, and she came up with a brilliant proposal in which we could make some extra money by all the directors pooling together to put some money in Century Bank, as they were giving really great interest at the time, right? We put the money in, we the directors, so we had a good lump sum, so we had an interesting interest, plus fundraising to raise our 30% to build that. In terms of getting the property, Mrs. Valerie McNeil was then chairman of the Negril Area Land Authority. With her help, we put in a proposal to the land agency to lease the land to us for the construction of this. That lease is still there now, still valid. We are still paying the lease yearly for that property. And with our fundraising, we raised enough money to build that plaza. During the building of the plaza, the vendors had a fundraising. They raised about $16,000 to $18,000 or $19,000 from their fundraising, which they gave to us. We're here to uplift the whole community. As they say, a rising tide raises all the boats in the harbor, right? So we are not that stupid. Let me tell you what we have done from beginning to end. For the first time, there are people who will remember the battle we had with Mr. Vin Lawrence, the chairman of UDC, to secure all that access for people, to the public, to the beach. Nowhere else in Jamaica do you have so much waterfront for the public, with 5 different access along the boulevard for people to get to the beach. That's the chamber work. Mr. Ray Arthur, who born here, he knew where they were. And during his presidency, that was his big call, to ensure that this access remained open and known to people, right? We have secured all that beach from Cosmos all the way up to Azul. All that is for the public. Island Lux, I think it's called, the place up there. You see this big, beautiful bathroom there. How did that bathroom come about? The chamber go to TPDCO to get money, plus what we contribute to build that beautiful bathroom for the public. Not only do we secure a place for the public to go where they can picnic, relax, and have their Sunday outing, we also ensure that there was a bathroom there. Coming down all the way nearby Cosmo, who did that? The chamber. The transportation center, right? We were the first town really to have a transportation center designated as is. We went to TPDCO. I was then chairman of the and I was on the TPDCO board. We went there and we got money to build that transportation center. When the transportation center was finished, we realized we needed a bathroom and people could shower and have access to bathroom. We went to our MP, which was Mr. McNeil. He took us to Parliament. It was Cliff Reynolds and myself went to Parliament. Mr. John Jr. was then Minister of Health. And they have this little room before Parliament. He took us there. We back him up there. We wind up with our 8,000 to come and build a bathroom. That's the chamber work. Right? Right now, we have 1.5 acres of land and the Good Hope Road, which we are seeking money to put up a training place so youngsters can go and train to be carpenters, whatever, because of the shortage of tradesmen. That's our next goal. We had a training center at Mirage, training people, again working with heart, right? To train people for the tourist industry. More than half of them are away overseas working now. This is what the chamber does. Now I want to ask you, you tell me what the post office, right? The little upgrade on it. It was the chamber lobbying for that. The library, right? Who built that? The chamber first built it. When the old police station was abandoned, we wrote there a history to show that we were the one who pushed for that library. My wife brings stacks of books there to get it reopened. Right? That's what we have done for Negril and Colin.
No.
And we starting to ask for that market when Miss P was Minister of Local Government. You can see how long. TPDCO did a design then when Miss Strong was there. The cost at the market at the time was going to be $38,000. They said they couldn't afford it. Right? And we continually pushing every year. Right now, 2 months, 3 months ago, in this hard time, the chamber had to find $800,000 to do the sampling, the soil testing before the building can move on. Because the Minister of Local Government says he gives the money to the parish council spend it on something else because they say they had more pressing need for it, right? And bearing in mind, who is the councillor for Negril? Right? We had to dip in our pocket in this hard time to come up with 800,000. Where do you think we get the 800,000 from? From the pockets of the directors, the chamber members, right? This is what we have done. You name one progressive thing that has taken place in Negril that is not driven by the chamber. The central sewerage. How did it come about? It was the Negril Chamber. You name me one thing that has taken place over the last 40 years in Negril that the chamber has not been in front driving it. The trouble with the chamber and other organization and the political this and that, they are here to appease. We're here to develop, to elevate, to make people better off, because we have got enough sense to realize that the hotel cannot stand alone, right? We all have to raise the quality of the resort so we all can benefit, right? We are not here for 5 years. We are here for a lifetime. And therefore, we are making the preparation so Negril can prosper. And by Negril prosper, we all prosper. We don't look after poor people, we look after people. We don't want anybody to be poor. We want everybody to be well off. And Negril people could be a whole heap better off if it was up to the chamber. It's a disgrace to see the state at this most beautiful resort. We could be earning twice the amount of money in Negril. But we want everybody to be independent. We want everybody to can make a living. Because if everybody is better off, we, the business community, is automatically better off.